Oh, do ya?
It's kicking it, cruise control, and we're kicking it. Daytime, and we're kicking it. All together, and we're kicking it. Oh, oh. Kicking it, cruise control, and we're kicking it. Daytime, and we're kicking it. All together, and we're kicking it.
Everything initializing? Does it still say syncing to you? Let me refresh fast. I'll be back. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Alright, that's good, that's good. You changed your picture, huh? It's on the cruise control stuff. Nice, alright, here we go, let's do this. Kicking it.
Give me the finger when you want your intro. Don't be a smart ass. Live from Los Angeles, it's Tuesday night and time to be kicking it with Kruse. And here's your host, Brian Kruse.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruise Control. I know you heard GR there in the chat a little bit, so welcome back guys. Welcome to Kickin with Kruse. I am Brian Kruse. I'm running for SAG-AFTRA National President, and I don't know who's out here. If there's anybody new out here, come to Cruise Control. Welcome to Kickin with Kruse. This is where we have a great time talking about movies, entertainment, the business, but also here to answer any questions and want to pop in and talk to me live about the election, about what's happening. If you have any concerns, some ideas, any of that, I'm here for you tonight for the next hour. We're just gonna have a good time, hang out, and you guys, you know he's here. Welcome back, Thirsty Daddy, GR Waters.
Hey, Brian. Time for a drink on Kicking It with Kruse.
Yeah, GR. It's funny because I was like, they can hear you during the intro song, GR. So, everything you were saying, I was doing this, but they can hear you. They can totally hear you.
Oh, well, shit happens.
Yeah, how you doing, GR?
I'm good for a Tuesday, you know.
Yeah.
It's only 101 here today, so nice and cool.
Nice and cool. Yeah, right? I mean, it's been so hot in LA right now, but hey, you know what? We're still trucking forward. We're having a good time. It's been a great week so far. It's Tuesday. I've been having fun. Billy F., Julian McMahon. I know, it's so sad about Julian McMahon. I don't know, I saw someone, Billy F. is saying that. Julian McMahon, it's like, I can't even believe that we lost him so early, you know?
Way too young.
Can't even believe. It's so way too young. And I think that honestly, like, you hear about that, and with all the Fantastic Four stuff, I feel like he's coming up more because we're all talking about that new movie coming out. And then he was, of course, working on a bunch of LA projects. it was like procedural cop shows he was working on. And he was busy, but I know he was kind of disappeared for a second. He lost a lot of weight. And then, unfortunately, we did lose him, so it's sad. Yeah, what do you do, GR, right?
They're not allowed to die when they're younger than me.
That should be a good point. Yeah, start putting that out there, GR. Making sure people listen to you about that.
Well, it's all about that man upstairs, whether he listens or not.
Great point, great point. We have to worry about that. But GR, we're here right now because it is Tuesday. Normally we're not here live on Cruise Control on a Tuesday, but you know, I am of course running for SAG-AFTRA president, so we're trying to put a little bit more of a presence out there on the interwebs for this last week, of course. And we're getting close on that national ballot. We're not there yet, but figure we put it out there. If anybody has any questions, you can talk to me, ask me what you think, and we can have a conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But, you know, there's a lot that's happened. The biggest thing I always tell everybody, I've been talking to a lot of people about, is the pension and health. And actually, when we were sitting down over the 4th of July, I was talking to you about it too. It's like, we just need to be able to choose where our pension goes. Like in the beginning of the year, even if we can't, I know everybody's like, you can't merge it can't happen, it doesn't happen that way. I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna tell me that, I'm gonna still fight for that. I'm gonna try to figure that out. Of course, you gotta get in there, get into all those different contracts, look at everything. But I gotta tell you right now, when it comes to pension, we should at least be able to choose in the beginning of the year. Like you start the year off, you always do those like how much you made last year, all that. Maybe we just have where would you like your pension to go? Whether it goes to SAG or it goes to the after retirement fund, and then that way we know that our pension is all going to the same place, so we get that pension credit at the beginning of the year. I should say at the end of the year. Make sure we get that pension credit because people need to have their pension. It's very important to me.
Dude, I got a question for you because it's been so many years since I was an active member of AFTRA.
Yeah.
Do your hours when you're working on like I know you work on different length shows, like a half hours after, right?
Half hour, yeah.
And the hour,
typically, that's how they do it. Is a half hour is the after, and the hour is the SAG. Yeah.
Do you get union hour credits regardless of which show you're working on?
Well, you can get pension credits or health insurance. It's depending on how much money you actually make. It's like days or money you make. Now, of course, an 8-hour day is counted for a day. You can get a partial day if you do overtime as well towards that as well. But they set it up individually. So like based on the contracts where we're at, it's like this is a SAG show, so it's going to go to the SAG pension. So you could work on a SAG show for 3 months, right? And let's say you make it's not going to happen. Say you make $15,000, right? And then you work on another show, like an after show for 3 months, and you make another $15,000. Now it's like $28,000 to qualify. So you think I have the money, right? But because you worked on a SAG show and an after show, that money is going to 2 different pots. So you'd have to do another 2 shows, another show that's all SAG, another show that's all after for another $15,000 in order to get that pension credit. So that's how it kind of works.
That's a ripoff.
Well, it happened because of the merger. When the merger happened, we had all these different contracts, so you'd have stuff going to AFTRA, you'd have stuff going to SAG. So then what happened with this was, when we actually merged, they said we couldn't merge the pensions, so it kept going split. And so people are not making their health insurance, and they're not getting their pension credits. So that's the problem.
And that's wrong. You should be able to choose which one it goes to.
I agree. At least choose. I think, we've talked about on the show about maybe finding a way. We gotta maybe pass a law, maybe have to go to Washington, D.C. and figure it out to find a way to merge them. Eventually, I'm being told by a million people it's not gonna happen, but no one really has put the effort forward to even try like constantly. We need to have it be like our day one goal. And once we do that and we start saying all hands on deck, let's go for it, then we can start solving these problems. But we need someone on deck to be like, we have to fix this. So at least let it merge. Also, other unions have rollover days, GR. And so like if you make more money than you actually need for your pension, for your health, they roll that over to the next year so that it can actually start adding up for the next year. So if you have a really great year and a bad year, at least your money is rolled over. So if you have that bad year next year, you're still qualifying. And I'd like to do the rollover methods too. If we have to go talk to IATSE, we have to go talk to any other union and figure out what they're doing as well and figure out how to make it work, that's what we got to do. But we have to start having those intercommunication conversations to fix this. So that's the biggest thing for me. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and it's just like, and I see everybody frustrated. Everybody's frustrated. What do you want to do?
It's understandable. You spend all that time working, you want to get credit for it the right way.
Well, yeah, and then the question is, where does that money go if I don't qualify? Where does that money go? Who's getting my money? Because I'm not getting it. So where's it going? So if I make, short of the 28,000, I got 27,000, that money still has vested money from the producers. Where does that money go?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know. That's a lot of people would say that too. I'd take it too as a member. I've been hearing rumblings that's going to maybe the staff. And if that's happening, we have to discuss that as well and find out why it's going there. But I want to get in there and find out exactly where that money's going, keep it going towards the membership, and keep our actual pension and health growing. Muppet Vision 3D. Billy F., welcome to Cruise Control. Muppet Vision 3D. How you doing, man? Welcome to Cruise Control. I've met you before. If you have any questions, let me know as well. But that's the idea, is try to fix that, We have to fix that. We have to really get in there and start taking care of our members. And there's a lot, honestly, on top of that, which is why I just want to be live. If people want to ask me any questions, we're here, and we're just talking so people get to know who we are. And GR and I have been doing Cruise Control for a while. This is Kickin with Kruse. This is our sidestep kind of program where we just talk one-on-one, a little bit smaller interview, nothing too crazy, nothing too big. The main show will be tomorrow. and you'll see all the bells and whistles. You've never seen it before. But you can ask me questions here. You can ask me questions there. Anytime I'm live, go for it. That's the idea. Is transparency, GR. Transparency. I'm not hiding. I'm everywhere. I'm not hiding. Anyone wants to ask me anything, I'm here.
Yeah, well, you're honest about most things. I give you that.
Oh, I'm womp-womping you, GR. I'm womp-womping you. And then,
you set yourself up for that, Ryan.
I don't have any of my, I realized I have none of my bells and whistles in here at all. Like none of my little sound bites, none of that's here. Nothing's here. Yeah, well, I can add this in. There we go. I got a couple. Got none of this is set up, right?
Oh yeah!
Not set up. But GR2, I guess we're here. If anybody has any questions out there, let me know. I'm Brian Kruse, running for SAG-AFTRA president. I am here. I'm here to answer your questions, and we'll be here for at least an hour. We'll hang out for a while, and if anybody pops we know we love, we'll talk about it. But since nobody has any questions right now, guys, it's time for some breaking news. All right, guys, and this is for anybody that's watching, that's maybe a member that doesn't know if they want to ask anything, just wants to know something about me. I want to talk about AI for a second, because AI matters the most to all of our membership. Of course it does. But recently now, at the Cannes Festival, one of the main people came forward, the strategic advisor of the Cannes Festival came forward at a summit, and he said, guys, his name's Sten Salver, and he's talking about AI and where it's going. And he's saying, based off of what he's been seeing through all the independent cycles, through the people he's been talking about, that their thing within the next 5 years, we're going to start getting full feature-length AI completely done movies. They're talking about, these are estimated to be like really complete audio quality, video quality, 1080. Also on top of that, completely generated, so that these are going to be the most advanced AI movies that you'll ever seen before. It's only real cinema. That's what he's saying in 5 years. That's what he's hearing from the rumblings. But also there's a new product that came out called Moon Valley. If you haven't heard this, there's been a lot of these AI programs been launching online. Moon Valley, though, is one that has gone out to the public just recently. They had some test trials they're launching right now, and it's going to allow users to have 10-second, fully rendered 1080p video AI created content that you can use in all your cinema, all of your short films, all of your films, everything. We're talking about consistently having, they're calling the film standard 1080p, 24 frames per second, consistent with all film quality AI created content. We've been hearing about this before because, again, there's another company happening in Texas that said they want to start doing $50,000 AI movies on top of that as well, and they want to start pushing those throughout everybody by the next couple of years. And to me personally, as we talk about AI in this program all the time, I say this: AI is something we can't stop. We can't stop it. We're trying to stop it all the time. And as actors, we've been fighting it. We have to fight it. We have to carry about our lightness, of course. We just have to have the right guidelines in play. Now, we did some good progression on this last contract, but I still want that contract to say human performer, so that we know that when we're actually going to be there and we're going to be used, human actors are being used. But also what has to happen, too, if you ask me, is, of course, this AI universe is growing. And if the independent cycle is doing it, if the studios start using it to make full-featured AI products, we have to make sure that they have a certain amount of actors that are signed on for each AI project, and they have to have the residuals, and they have to have their likeness copyrighted. I really, I'm worried about trademarking. People talk about trademarking their likeness all the time. I want to make sure, though, that honestly, that our likeness is going to be protected and safe, and that the AI is a machine. It's a tool. It should be a tool to help out post-production, rendering. Of course, maybe they want to do it for reshoots. They want to have full AI for reshoots. But seriously, for me, we have to worry about paying our actors and protecting them. And that starts with, of course, the verbiage. The verbiage is very important. So I want to fight with that. The studios say human actor. But it's not a fight. It's really a discussion about this, telling them how we're trying to protect our people. But also on top of that, I want to make sure that when we are integrating and they start using it, because there's conversations about Sora too. If you guys haven't heard about Sora, Sora came to the studios right after we signed our contract this last election cycle, and I should say this last contract negotiation cycle, and they came to him with this Sora. It was a fully automated, completely AI-created content, and they are going to try to replace background actors and also make all the establishment shots. You can actually only do it in studio and leave everything else alone. We got to protect that so that does not happen. We have to start talking to the studios and saying, why would we do this? And like, if you do want to do this, we have to have a certain amount of actors still attached to this GR so that the people are protected. We have to protect our actors. Yeah. We have to. And, we have to find out where their head's at with this stuff, though, too. Because these production companies are coming at them, having these meetings, but no one's talking to them about it. And if they are, it's behind closed doors and there's no transparency, which there should be transparency about that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about taking away the livelihood of millions of people around the world.
Yeah.
And I had no problem with AI as long as there are hard, backed up laws and regulations on what they can use the AI for and how they can use it.
And to me, it's got to be a lot of that, of course, filling in things, little things. Like I know WGA has it in there for like a bare bones script idea. And also, like, some post-production work is going towards that to speed up rendering time. Also, again, audio mixing. That is still, effectively, it could be taking a job away. But as long as it's like a tool that's helping the actual human doing it, then we're okay. That's what I'm worried about always. Keeping it okay, and keeping it safe for that jobs and the stability. But we have to have those conversations amongst all unions and sit down and discuss like what their worries are and our own so we can work as a cohesive unit. I just think that has to happen. We haven't been really working as a whole Hollywood like production company, which would be cool if it was like we're all working together.
Our union gave it up on the last contracts. We're out on strike all that time, and the last real issue was the AI.
It's the biggest issue everybody's been talking about.
And what did they do? They kicked it to the curb, basically.
And they have some protections in their GR, but they didn't. The verbiage is my problem. The verbiage is a big problem because I feel like that leaves the producers like that.
They have that much language, Brian.
Yeah. Well, the producers like the gray area. The gray area with the contracts. What's up? Good to see you, Collins. How you doing today? Yeah, they have this gray area, and so I want to make sure that we just, take care of that gray area so it is safe for our members. And that just comes down to verbiage, and I think that it comes down to us, like, really breaking down and looking at how it's written and being in that room being like, I don't feel good about this, but also polling the audience, too, polling the people, polling the members as well, so they feel safe and happy about the deal and the verbiage, too. So we have to have these conversations, start polls, start talking to people, and start, like, getting people so we're all kind of working together, and I want to be that voice. That voice that will actually talk to the people and bring it forward and say, hey, this is what we're thinking. How do you feel about this? Utilize the apps, send out polls, have conversations, and that's what has to happen. I think, at least. I like the transparency.
I think you've got to take it from that gray area to black and white.
Yeah, black and white. We're done. This is what it is.
Go to the membership and say, here's our options. Do we want A, B, C, or D? Or all of the above, whatever.
What's up, Queen? Good to see you, Queen. But yeah, I want to make sure, though, that honestly that we are actually working on that ahead of time, working on it before we get there, getting in there and figuring out, because this AI thing, like, what's up, Queen? Good to see you. Yeah, we're at Random Tuesday, Queen. We're just hanging out for an hour, GR and I. And this AI machine that's been going on with, again, this new programming, they're saying 5 years, fully animated AI movies. That means this next contract negotiation is even more important than the last one. It really is. Because if you're going to be able to do full-featured AI movies, now, Queen, we've had this conversation before as well. It's like, yeah, how good is the acting going to be? Probably not great, but you never know. As it's getting better and better and better, you see it doesn't sound as robotic anymore as it used to. GR before used to be like, kind of had like a sound that you would know that it's AI. But I don't hear it like I used to anymore.
There's a couple of companies out there, and don't ask me their names because I don't know. There was a company that came out about a year and a half ago, and they put a short clip online. Mm-hmm. And I saw it. It was a woman walking down the street in what I believe to be Tokyo.
That was Sora. That was Sora, GR.
Oh, that's right. That was Sora. I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was AI at first.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a good while to recognize what it was.
It's very sneaky.
Because there was none of that herky-jerky that you used to get.
What's up, Captain America? Good to see you. God bless America, Captain America. Salute you, man. Yeah, there was none of that herky-jerkiness, none of that. It's so smooth. It's like butter now, It's like butter. And I think that it's only going to get better. And honestly, 5 years is a lot for technological advancements. And so when you hear this, I just say, okay, we got these new companies. We got this new open source company that just launched for people to do full AI or rendering, which is, again, 10 seconds is enough to make a movie. You think about the attention span of somebody, a 10-second clip, then a 10-second clip, then a 10, you know what I mean? That's how fast you're pretty much editing as it is. So like that's going to really be coming to the consumer database too. We just have to have it. So for the big studios, at least we're protected. That's what it comes down to, you know, and we can't really fight a lot of it. We're going to do our best. We have to also work with technology and grow with it. And that's important. It just is. You know, GR? Because you know what, GR?
Yeah.
You don't want it to become like Megan, GR. But Megan, everybody, didn't do that great.
Uh-oh, what happened, Brian? Your sound went away.
We're fixing it. Apparently my audio turned off. What's up, Racer X? Weird. That was a weird thing. It just like kicked me off for a second. You know, GR?
Yeah, it was the AI.
You can't say AI out loud or they come after you, guys. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Racer X? Good to see you. So, Megan 2, guys. Did you see that Megan 2 went already? And it flopped pretty bad, guys. I'm sorry for Megan 2.0. Haven't seen it, Queen. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, for Blumhouse, they were like expecting great money. They were expecting great money because the first one did well. Now, the second one apparently made it like an action comedy compared to the original one. The original was kind of like a thriller base. They made it an action comedy about Megan, and they had Britney Spears playing a lot. I guess so much so they thought it would be great. But at the budget, they spent like $15 to $25 million, Jason Blum did, and it only made $17 million worldwide. So not great when the original one. I know, GR. Look at the original one. The original one, they spent like $12 million, and they made GR. They made $180 million in the first one. $12 million for $180 million. So they were thinking this would be a big blockbuster hit, and it really, really wasn't, GR. She looks like one of the Olsen's ones. I agree. I agree, Racer X.
I don't think that's a pretty sad statement. She looks like one of the Olsen twins.
Very true, GR. Very true. But I just saw it and I was like, they were expecting they might make so much money. They were expecting to blow up and be a big box office success. The movie business is risky. It is. But Blumhouse, they usually do these cheaper budgets. So they spent more on this one, which isn't still that bad. Like, you know, they're spending like $17 million. They spent more than it's not a bad budget, but they really shot themselves in the foot because they changed the whole genre, and so people weren't happy about how they changed the genre. And then AI stuff is always out there, so I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, Megan's coming back for another one. The first one was pretty good. GR, did you see the first one?
No.
Oh, come. GR, you got to go back and watch Megan. You got to watch Megan 1.0.
Want to bet, Brian?
I know. You're like, oh, I don't have to watch it, but you should watch it. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, the first one.
Yep. Brian, we have this thing. You're the one that sees all the movies.
Very true.
Good,
Very true.
bad, or indifferent. I only watch the good ones.
Someone's got to do that, GR. Someone's got to support the movie industry. I got that little Regal pass, so really like how much, I spend my weekly thing. It's more like supporting the theater. That's pretty much it, because at that point, I guess I'm giving the money to pay for it, and then I'm buying the popcorn buckets,
Yeah, well, let's see what the latest ones for Superman. You can get them for $40 to $45.
Man, GR, it's too much money for a popcorn bucket. I mean, think about how much popcorn actually costs. Like, they're making hand over fist money. They're making so much money. It was not received at all as well as the first one. They made like 17 million worldwide so far compared to and their budget was like, oh man, their budget was like 25 million. So they're losing 15 to 25 million somewhere. They haven't said exactly. I'm guessing it's like 20 million because they don't want to say the quiet part out loud that they lost money. And then plus there's advertising. I bet they easily spent 5 million on advertising. Easily, First Megan was basically a slasher film. It was Racer X. And so that's why I like that one too. I thought they did a good job integrating the AI. It's kind of creepy. It's like Chucky, but not Chucky. So to me, it kind of made sense. But this one was more campy.
Oh, it is like Chucky, another doll that comes alive and kills people,
That's what it was, exactly. Very much like that. And I think they were expecting big numbers like they did the first one, though, but the audience just didn't come out for it.
Well, when you go from slasher to comedy, it's kind of a what?
Yeah. The reviews were not stellar. I gotta say that they weren't stellar for it either. Which
How
again,
about they bombed?
Yeah, they did bomb pretty bad. Oh boy, GR. We tried. Queen, did you see Jurassic World? What'd you think? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Were you indifferent? I know you're gonna go see it too. I see you're out here. I kind of want to know how Queen felt about it. I'm hoping she at least had a good time at the theaters. You know, GR.
I liked it.
It's a fun movie experience. I mean, it's not rocket science. You know, it's not. Nothing can beat Jurassic Park 1. Nothing can ever top that.
Well, you know, there's a reason for that, though. But think about it, Brian.
What's
it was
that?
an introduction. It was an introduction of a new type of film.
Yeah.
There hadn't really been a good dinosaur movie, you know. And here it was, and it was a well done film with some excellent acting.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep beating it a horse.
Just beating it down and beating it down and beating it down. This is the
This
seventh
one,
movie.
I think, yeah, and I think this one beat the hell out of the last 3 or 4.
Well, I think they went away from the campiness a little bit too, you know, because there was still some jokes and stuff, but like the last one was really kind of campy. Second and third, I feel like the first one, Jurassic World, started off pretty strong. Kind of nostalgia, opened the park up. The dinosaur, that's a new kind of dinosaur, so it's interesting. But then like 2 and 3 got kind of campy, especially 3. Even though I loved me as some Jeff Goldblum, I still was, yeah. I really wish Jeff Goldblum would do more. I want to see him in more things. I love that he's in Oz. A lot of similarities to Chucky. Yeah, Racer X for that too. So many similarities with that Megan. So many.
I think they're cousins on some level.
They might be. Hey, they might be. But wasn't Chucky like a serial killer that was like possessed a doll or something like that though too? Like he had been murdered. He'd been locked away. I'm happy Queen said that Jurassic World wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I think that people just like to hate on these things, Queen. And honestly, you're getting what you want. It was a popcorn film with a lot of running around. You're right, 100%. Popcorn film, a lot of running, some good action stuff. I love seeing the T-Rex sleep. That was hilarious to me. And that raft scene was great. The raft scene was awesome. The climbing the side of the mountain too. The guy falling off the side of the mountain and landing in the water and being fine. Not sure about that, but that's again a popcorn action film, right?
Actually, having done something similar, Brian, if you hit the water right, you can fall from hundreds of feet.
Well,
you just have to know how.
Yeah. He definitely went bam. It almost seemed like the way it was shot that it wasn't as far as it actually was, you know, and that one angle where he hits the water. I was like, you guys, yeah.
And you can't hit yourself flat on your back. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it does not work. I gotta say that the best part though was the velociraptors and the guy peeing. That was hilarious. They had some comedy.
No, that was so funny.
I'm not sure about the reasoning to put the weed in there either. And I know like Brandon and I talked about that. We had a conversation on Saturday, GR. Like, was there any need to have that one scene with the? I was expecting the lazy boyfriend to get eaten. Me too, Queen. I said the very first time when I saw him, like, oh, he's getting eaten. And GR is like, we'll see. I really was expecting the lazy boyfriend to get eaten.
And he turned out to be a good guy at the end of the movie.
Yep. He
Spoiler alert.
Redeemed himself and came back around, right, GR?
Well, he went after the pretty young girl to save her life, so
yeah,
he got an attaboy for that.
Yeah, and that was a big flip in the character for him, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
I did not see it coming. I was like, wait a sec. I just thought he was going to be annoying the whole movie. And I'm like, oh, if he's annoying the whole movie, only unimportant characters were eaten. Yeah, and also I'm going to tell you, Racer X is like the one thing too, GR, that I was thinking. It's like they had the big bad guy. You know, he's like the corporate guy, which I knew he was going to get eaten. I knew it. It's so typical, you know. I was just waiting to see when and how. And then he had the briefcase attached to him. And they went flying off after he got eaten. That was pretty good.
Well, I like the fact his arm came down. Half of his arm came down with the briefcase.
Yeah. I like that guy, Rupert. He's a great actor, too. Homeland he was in. He was great in Homeland. There was another series I watched him in too. I just like him. Mark the Eagle. Dry references definitely did not belong in the movie. Yes, Mark the Eagle. I said the same thing. Like, was there even a point for this? And it was such like a little like dumb moment. He's like, "Hey, you guys want to smoke some weed?" And they're like, and then it's like, then it was done. So it just you could have cut that scene, or you guys could just cut that whole reference. Like, it's supposed to be again. I just want to be devil's advocate here. It's a kids movie, but it's not, because it could be pretty scary to kids too. It's supposed to be like a family thing. Jurassic Park, I would think, right? But I was hearing from some friends that have kids that were actually pretty scared with it too, because it was scarier than the original ones. I should say the original Jurassic World ones, right, GR? The original Jurassic World ones weren't as the chasing and the dinosaurs and the eating.
No, they weren't.
You're right. What Racer X? Well, the dinosaurs looked like xenomorphs from Aliens. Kind of did. Were you talking about the D-Rex? The D-Rex was weird. What a weird look they went with the D-Rex. I was like, he kind of had that big bulbous head.
It looked stupid is what it looked.
Yeah, right. I don't know what they were thinking. I was like, they wanted to do something different, I guess, and so they went with the bulbous head, the T-Rex arms, and the regular arms. Like, that was like, to me, that felt like, yeah, that's the one, Mark the Eagle. Yeah, the D-Rex. That's the one that felt like to me like like it was the first graphic that they drew for it. They're like, this is the first time they drew it, and they're like, okay, cool, let's put this out there. It's great. What do you guys think? And they're like, oh yeah, just go with that, because it was so obscure and weird, and it's supposed to be crossbred and all that. Again, it's scary dinosaur, but it was a weird look. It was a very weird look. They could have just had, honestly, why didn't they have? Here's my one critique. Why didn't they just have GR like a T-Rex to be one of them they had to get the DNA from? Because a T-Rex is a massive creature as well. You would think they would have tried to do that, but they wanted to have the Brontosaurus thing where they have them back in the field again and have that magical moment, touching it, or is it a Brachiosaurus? They wanted to have that from the original one, I think. And then the water one, I think that's fun, the whole experience in the boat. And then they brought back the pterodactyls too,
I'll tell you what, that one in the water was definitely one big-ass fish.
Yeah, right. I saw some stuff behind the scenes. They were shooting an alligator and like using that as the basis for it too, with its jaws, and having it jump up and like out of the water and clamp onto something to get the shot right and have it look right for the jaws clamping and stuff. Because I guess it's very similar to that actually dinosaur from back in the day, at least how its jaw was structured, which is pretty cool. Actually, what they do sometimes. You're right. It's like ISA Queen. I think that is kind of like the Rancor from Return of the Jedi. That's amazing. I love that too. Yeah, maybe they were kind of really trying to find ways to bring that old pop culture stuff in. They didn't bring any weapons to defend themselves, right? They talked about that one weapon that would
actually they did, but they lost it with when they had problems with the boat.
The boat. Also, GR, when they were, here's what I'm going to say. This is nitpicking for me, too. When they crashed the boat into the actual shore, right, why did they throw everything off the boat? Because they were crashing into the shore. They could have just got it off the boat, as opposed to throwing in the water, and then, like, the one girl gets eaten with it, and it's gone.
Brian, there's one easy reason.
What is that?
It was in the script.
Round of applause, GR. You're right. I don't know. It was fun though. I just think that there were some little weird things that didn't have to be there, and it did have a feel of Fantastic Four First Steps. Billy F. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I hope that's good. Still, I know GR is still skeptical about Pedro Pascal. I like Pedro, and I'm kind of more interested in it as I'm getting closer to it as well. I just think I am, and the last trailer actually made me a little bit more excited. But this summer,
Brian, I like Pedro as well. He's an incredible actor. He's very talented, but he's not Mr. Fantastic.
See, and there's people that feel like that too. I've seen that movement. It's happened. A lot of critique about that online, which I think though with him and Kirby, they seem good together. Everyone on the boat was killed. You're right. Everybody pretty much on the boat was killed. Racer X. They're like, you know what? You're gone. You're gone. Wipe them all out immediately. It's like, thanks guys for being here. Have a good one. We can't afford you on the island. We're going to keep this a lower budget on the actual jungle stuff. The boat stuff is all you're good for here. One beach scene. There was no reason Mahershala Ali should have survived the end. That was weird. I know I read something online saying that they were torn on that. They want him to live, but it made more sense for him to die. and then they shot that scene and threw it in anyways where he just randomly survived. I have no idea how he could have survived. I told GR though this too. They made a point about having T-Rex pee at one point. It would have been great and funny in that moment if he would have pulled the T-Rex pee out and spread it all over himself, and then the D-Rex wouldn't have eaten him. That's would have been fun to me. If you want to put a joke in there, that's what they could have done. Because they could, oh, that stinks. Remember that, GR? The T-Rex thing they were talking about? How'd you get that? You don't want to know. You know? So, no. Or maybe I'm confusing.
You'd have to have a raincoat for that scene.
You get some, can you imagine if you see somebody getting T-Rex pee on the island and then just trying to, I don't know. Actually, I think I'm mixing these up. I think I'm mixing up Jurassic Park 3 with this one. I think I'm mixing them up. I watched all of them up over again, and so maybe that's where that came from, the T-Rex pee. But T-Rex pee, maybe that's what it was. He put T-Rex pee on him, and that saved his day. I'm going to still say that right now. But in the real world,
you have to tie Brian. You have to tie the movies together.
You're right.
He had the flare in his hand.
Yeah.
And T-Rex was going after the flare, and how he got away, he threw the flare that way and went that way.
Yeah, that could have been it too. But they kept it. They didn't want to show you because I think they shot the two different endings, with him being there and him not being there. And so they had made a decision later on. It probably just tested better for him to live.
But it made a better happy ending, Brian.
Yeah, I did. I saw people critiquing like, why would they get in this tiny little boat and go into the ocean where that big dinosaur is that almost killed them before? And I'm like, you're a good point. But they also did that in Jurassic Park 1 where they do that in every of them. They fly up into the sky, across the ocean. They had no helicopters, so they did it on a boat. But realistically, that boat's not going far. Let's be honest about that. That boat's not getting anywhere. You have to phone somebody in to come pick them up. That boat's going nowhere. But the director even said that's a one-off, GR. They're not going to plan on doing it anymore. Britt Allcroft. Oh, let me see. Britt Allcroft. You hear about her, GR?
81.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas.
Somebody older than me.
Thomas the Train. Yeah. That's sad. It's always sad when you lose good people here, too. People that work in the business for a long time. It's like, but I always say, like, I'm happy what they've given us, and I give her a round of applause for everything she's given and strived for and brought and left behind. That's always a big deal to me. What did Mark the Eagle say? Welcome to Cruise Control, Mark the Eagle. Thanks for being here tonight. I think it was, I'm like, even pop it up for me, GR. It was like when George Lucas survived at the end of Blue Beetle. Oh, George Lopez. Yeah. I mean, that's that movie though, Mark the Eagle. That's that movie. Like, it was, I didn't actually hate Blue Beetle. I really didn't even hate it. I thought it was pretty fun. But yeah, George Lopez at the end was like, really? Let's just go with it. Because they're planning for more originally, probably. That was when James Gunn, before he took over. And that's still.
You mean Mr. Blank?
Mr. Blank, according to he might prove you wrong. What's up? Good to see you here, Mark the Eagle. Thanks for joining us on Kickin with Kruse. Good to have you here, man. If you have any questions, also we're here. We're having a good time. Welcome to the show. You're talking about Mr. Blank though, GR, because we're not going to be here that long. It's a quick show tonight. I want to talk about Superman very quickly too, GR, because Superman. The embargo has lifted and everyone's talking about Superman, and the studios right now are projecting around 200 million globally opening weekend, which isn't as good as I expected. I thought it would be bigger than that, open like 200 million, and it has a $225 million budget, but they have 60,000 theaters it's going to, so I mean, that's just rough numbers. Look what happened with Jurassic World 2, where they were saying it was going to be, first they were projecting like 180 million. It jumped up to like 250. Then it went over 300 million. So you'd have no idea what the power of the box office. And I gotta have hope that this will get out there and people might just want to go out and see it again. Plus word of mouth. Plus again, it's the first big like DC movie for the new DCU. So hopefully that will drive box office up. But I don't know. Jordan on the show. We have if you guys for the first time don't know Jordan, he's been on the show before. He's usually on a Friday. He was saying too that it's gonna blow up all the box office, be the biggest movie ever. But I don't know if it will, GR. I don't know if it will.
No way in hell.
Can it beat Jurassic World? You think that Jurassic World will have a big dip next weekend, or do you think that it'll be like battling off?
I wouldn't be surprised to see it battle off because, as Racer just said, there's no big stars in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Corn Sweat, who is Superman, I like the idea that he is pretty much, he's done some things. He did Hollywood with Ryan Murphy. He was in that. And he's done some little stuff, and I think that's good to have a no-name kind of, well, he's somebody, but not a big name for Superman. I think that's great. And Rachel Brosnahan, I like her, Miss Marvel, but still, she's not like an epic big star. Even Jor-El. Jor-El is going to be Bradley Cooper, but he's going to be in it for like 2 seconds. I think it's going to be like one scene. That's why James Gunn announced it so late.
And just because I'm an old Superman fan from the Dark Ages,
Yeah.
Jor-El was never written as a villain in the Superman comics.
Yeah, and that came out. That's a big rumor coming around, everybody. If you didn't hear it yet, is that Jor-El, according to what I've been hearing, is going to be playing a bad guy kind of in this. So there's a rumor going around that Lex Luthor gets into the Fortress of Solitude. He sees a video, like one of those old like Kryptonian clips where they do a hologram thing where Jor-El pops up, and Jor-El's played by Bradley Cooper, and he says that Superman must dominate the Earth and take it over. And so then he broadcasts that to the whole world. This is like a rumor going around. And there's a little clip in a trailer that says that in the background that says Superman is trying to destroy the world. And like it's in one of the trailers. So people are saying there might be some real traction on this rumor, and that Jor-El is a bad guy kind of, and Superman has to rise up. So he's not talking about hope and giving the people aspirations, but more or less dominating the people, which that just seems weird to me. It does seem weird to me. Why to me, I just don't know.
I mean, it's such a different take on the way the character was written in the comic books from the very beginning.
Yeah, it is.
He was a big level scientist on Krypton, allegedly,
Yeah.
As was his mother, Laura.
Yeah. Laura. I just picture that Man of Steel movie with Russell Crowe talking to her all the time. Pa Kent, he does. Pa Kent, that guy, he's done a bunch of little movies too. The guy who plays Pa Kent. He's done some stuff, but he's not a big name. But Bradley Cooper playing Jor-El. So Razor X, do you think Bradley Cooper's a big enough name to be Jor-El? I think it's only a quick thing though too. It doesn't seem like he's going to be in that much of a movie. Unlike Man of Steel, you had like 30 minutes of like on Krypton, which I thought was actually pretty awesome. I thought that was really cool, like the whole intro of Man of Steel, where you got to see, all of that destruction of Krypton.
Right on, Razor X.
But that's what I'm saying too. And people are saying that comes from like an animated series where Jor-El was trying to be evil or trying to push him to dominate the Earth. I hope that's not what it is, but I don't know. It might be a weird motivation for Superman to turn around. I don't know. And maybe it's the whole...
That was in the alternate universe, Brian.
Is that what that was? Oh, Sean will be checking me on that tomorrow too if I bring it up. Look at this. Look at Queen said, why does Superman's father look like Harvey Weinstein?
I think they're related, Queen.
And that's the whole thing. The whole thing about that too has kind of surprised me. The message was altered. What is that? Oh, is that you're talking about the Pa Kent thing? Maybe is that what you're talking about, Mark the Eagle, or maybe the Jor-El message that it was altered and it's not really the real thing or the real Jor-El saying it? That'd be interesting too. Yeah, that Lex Luthor. That'd be interesting if that's how they go about it. Oh, Lex Luthor can doctor the message, and that might be something too, because Lex Luthor apparently is pretty evil in this. That's what they're saying. But again, this is getting pretty good reviews, like 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I can bring up right now because I was gonna refresh it. I was looking at it earlier in the day. 87 it's down to from all the critics, but they're still saying great things. Here you go. Here's some new stuff that came in today for you, GR. Joanna Langfield from the Movie Minute said, James Gunn's reboot isn't always super, but man, it sure does get the franchise flying off to a pretty high start. There you go. It's not bad. And let's see.
Sounds like a kiss-up message to me.
And this Jordan Hoffman from the Times of Israel said, for those holding out for a hero and who need a jolt of truth, justice, and the American way, this is a strong summer treat. Okay. There is some good reviews. Look up at the screen. It's a great comic book movie. Superman 2025 is wonderful and flawed, just like the Man of Steel himself. So there are good reviews coming in about it. And at 88%, 87% for critics, that's not too bad. And I like what they're saying. Maybe the message from Jor-El, like Queen was saying, Lex Luthor had messaged it. Yeah, even Mark the Eagle saying maybe he did tweak it and change it. And so that also could be a big plot point. And there's also, what's going to be the big bad. But I think that Corn Sweat seems like he's going to be a good Superman. I think he will. And I think that I honestly like the cast for the most part. I'm not sure about this whole Green Lantern, Nathan Fillion. I like Nathan Fillion, but I do worry about that James Gunn humor a little bit. But from what I've been hearing, it actually meshes in well. How come Lex Luthor is able to walk in and out of the Fortress of Solitude anytime he wants to? That's a good question. I feel like he's done that in the past before too, right, Queen? It's like, I thought it was Superman only being able to. Even the trailer for this one, they show Krypto and Superman opening it up, and that's it. He's back. I think he needs to get some help there, Superman. Yeah, he needs better security. He does. He needs to get that Ring camera on or something. I don't know. Come on, Superman. He has robots. Can't the robots protect them? Does he not have a lock on the front door, GR? What the heck?
No, he went for that keyless entry and it didn't work.
Right. Lex Luthor hacked it, and now he can get into it as much as he wants. But there is so many. They have other superheroes. Yeah, they have Mr. Terrific. They have the Eagle. They have Hawkgirl. They have. I heard that Supergirl makes an appearance in the end, and they were talking about her being in this too. You got, of course, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, who's played by Nathan Fillion with the bowl cut, and apparently that the Justice Society is in here. And which was, they try to do that in Black Adam, but I don't think it's as big of a part. I did see an opening for the movie that leaked online that was like a big battle that starts with Superman, and this is like, he's been on Earth for, I think they said 3 years, something like that. He's been on Earth already, been Superman for 3 years, and Lois and him have been dating for like 3 months.
Brian, Superman has been on the planet for over 30 years if you look at it realistically.
Yeah, but plot point though, GR, for this, like he's been exposed in the world.
I'm sorry, that's not the storyline. Superman is Superman. He got to the Earth, he was a little baby.
Can you imagine if they would have done that, GR, like it's like Superman's been living amongst us for 30 years, and then he meets Lois Lane, but he looks the same because he doesn't age because, he stays younger for longer because of the sun. That'd be kind of cool. Be a different take, but that'd be like also this whole phase of he's a much older man. I don't know.
If you're going to adapt something, quit ripping it off. Stay to the originals.
I would like to see Kingdom Come still. And they were going to do Kingdom Come. There was a whole thing that Max was trying to develop, a Kingdom Come version of the comic books. And I would have loved to have seen that. And I think it's still up in the air because Brandon Routh wants to play Kingdom Come Superman. I'd be all about that. Give that man another chance being Superman. What they did in the I was going to say UPN, the CW verse with him being in there, I thought that was great. I think it was fun to see him with the gray hair as the older Superman. Come on, GR.
Youth-deprived Superman.
Youth-deprived Superman. The youth-deprived Superman. It flies through the sky and dominates your day. It's a DC Universe film, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens with this. I just worry that the box office, I'm happy that Jurassic World did so well opening weekend because it makes me bring hope that theaters will start surviving and doing better too. I really hope they do. It's been a long time since theaters have been doing well. Supergirl hasn't appeared in anything since she had her own show. Yeah. I worked on that show, Queen. I worked on Supergirl. I don't know if I told you that before. I did the first season. I did a bit part where I was what's her name? Harrison Ford's wife, Felicity. Oh man, I'm going blank on her name. I played like her assistant in like one scene. GR, help me out, man.
Big part.
Calista Flockhart. That's it, Calista Flockhart. She was great.
That's close to Felicity.
Yeah, I'm like merging names in my head. They need to do more solo films before they do Kingdom Come. I would like that too. And Kingdom Come would be ambitious. It would be, Queen. It'd be a pretty big movie to do. I would love it, but they want to do like a Max series. And I don't know. I like Brandon Routh. I think that'd be cool if he got another chance to get an opportunity. It's like how they gave Andrew Garfield a chance again with that Spider-Man movie to come back. And I really hope to see him do it again because I think he was a great Spider-Man. And, give him a chance. And he's an older Spider-Man that's fun. And it's like we get an older Brandon Routh, Kingdom Come, that might be fun too. Calista was in the season on CBS, yeah. And then she didn't come back, right, when they went to Vancouver. She didn't want to go to Vancouver. So they took the second season to Vancouver, and that's when they moved, because we shot at WB. It was one of the bigger stages of WB, which is a funny thing, because here's an inside thing about that show. They had shot a pilot. That didn't go. And so what they did, they were about to scrap the whole, it was like a news show. They're about to scrap the whole thing. And they're like, wait, hold on. We got Supergirl. We can repurpose it for Supergirl. And they kept that whole massive office, just use it for Supergirl. It was great. I mean, it makes sense on WB's aspect, because you had it. And one of my favorite stories working on Supergirl, GR, I don't know if I told you this before. It was super early. We're about to do a blocking, right? And it's like 6:30 in the morning. We get on this set, everybody's yawning. There is Supergirl with her real life dog. She comes in with her real life dog, and her dog starts walking around the set. All of a sudden, the dog stops and takes the most massive pee in the middle of the set. It was massive, GR. Like, it was big, covered like a whole surface area in the middle of the room. And then she's like, "Oh my God, whoa!" And then the dog runs away. People are laughing, and the AD grabs a coffee mug off a desk and puts it on the ground as if someone had spilled coffee and said, "Set deck, we got to clean up over here. Someone spilled coffee." And the set deck comes over to clean it. It's like, "Oh, what the hell?" I was like, oh God. Just messing with people, Yeah, but that was a fun set. It was a really fun set. The Karate was our AD. He's a great guy. There's just great people that worked on that show. The DC superhero woman, yeah, she was great. I liked her too. And I thought overall, Melissa, she was nice. She was very nice. And I thought she looked good in the suit and everything, GR. I thought she was a good Supergirl. But now we have the girl from Game of Thrones that's playing Supergirl now. So we'll see. She's younger. Yeah. There's a lot there's a lot of random characters that James Gunn might bring in. You want to see the Wonder Twins in the DCU? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Racer X, if anybody's going to do that, it would probably be James Gunn. He likes all the random characters that haven't had an opportunity yet, which I think is great. The Wonder Twins were a big one as well. Maybe they could make that work. Didn't they have like a spin-off or a spoof of that in SNL or something like that too? I thought I remember there was some like weird spin-off where they're making fun of that too, the Wonder Twins. And
they make fun of everything on SNL.
They do. And Wonder Man's still coming, GR. That'll be fun. I can't wait to see Wonder Man. I hope that's good. I hope it's good. There's a lot of content. I'm not sure about this whole... Anybody out there, because, we're just kicking it right now. Anybody out there like Ironheart? I just want to know if anybody else watched Ironheart, if they cared about it, if they liked it, what their takes was. Because we watched it, I watched it through the whole thing. It kind of took me a second to get into it, but I do like how it ended. But did anybody else enjoy it? And I don't think there'll be a second season. But setting up Mephisto, though, is a big deal for me, too. And I love it with Sacha Baron Cohen. What a great actor. What's Mark the Eagle saying here? He's saying...
Best thing he's ever done.
Apache Chief. I would love to see Apache Chief, GR.
Good Lord. You talk about...
We're getting in there.
Characters.
We're getting in there, right? Apache Chief. Who would play Apache Chief? That's a good question right there. You got any ideas, Mark the Eagle?
I don't think in this day and age, I don't think you can call him Apache Chief. You have to...
I'm going to tell you,
it's
GR.
even more politically correct, man.
GR, I watched Ironheart, and her name was Riri Williams. If they can call her Riri, which I thought was like, it just seemed like the most obscure, weird name to call somebody, and that's kind of not the greatest name in general, because it has a slang, for something else. I was like, you're going to get with that, they might be able to do Apache Chief. That's all I'm saying. And Racer X said that Ironheart was what? I thought I saw him say Ironheart's what? A character most people aren't interested in. Racer X, you try to watch it though? Yeah, really random, obscure character, and what they did with it was it just felt a little forced to me. The show felt a little forced too, and I felt like some of the stuff they did with inside the helmet with the AI interface, that's not usually how they've done it before, so I thought it was weird to see a face in there too. I get it, they're trying to give that actress some more screen time and have that connection, but it was weird that they would have that interface in the helmet, because that's not how Iron Man did it. But again, she's not really Iron Man, it's her own kind of infrastructure, own kind of suit too, so I get that. I did like Anthony Ramos too. I thought he was good as the Hood. I think he was good too. I like him though, so he's done some good stuff. She was in Black Panther. Yeah, she was in Black Panther. And then also, wasn't she?
The first episode was good, Brian, and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, they had some interesting choices for, I would say, music too, which I liked it sometimes, and sometimes I was like, this seems off. The magic stuff seemed kind of forced in there to me too. It seemed weird they were forcing the magic. It felt like it was forced for Mephisto. And then they were saying Dormammu. I'm like, it's not going to be Dormammu. Dormammu's not coming back in the MCU again after Doctor Strange. There's no way, you know? And then also, like, when it became Mephisto, I was like, let's go. As soon as I saw Sacha Baron Cohen, GR, I'm like, it's Mephisto. And there's been a lot of people like New Rock Stars on if you guys ever watch New Rock Stars, I like those guys. But they've been asking and screaming and asking for it. And also, there's another channel too that's been asking for it so much. And I laugh because I'm like, you guys get what you want. Mephisto is here. But will Mephisto come back again? That's my question. Because I don't know, because that did so bad. But New Rockstars was super stoked about it too. Which I laughed. He had a good little video about it with him like walking like, oh, Mephisto's here.
Oh boy!
Sacha Baron Cohen's so good though. What else? What did Queen just say? That Ironheart is for people who are obsessed with Marvel spinoffs. Yeah, you see how they release that 3 at a time too? They're like, we're gonna pump this out as fast as we can. Which again shows you they had no faith in it. It's like they should have done that. They should have just dropped all of Secret Invasion too, because that one was so horrible. I mean, there were some good moments here and there. For the most part, man, even Sam Jackson couldn't save that. You know, he just couldn't save it.
And it must have been really bad, Brian.
Yeah, he's like,
if he couldn't save it.
You know what Sam Jackson was saying, GR, for that one? You ready for this?
I give up.
He was saying, put that motherfucking paycheck in my motherfucking bank. That's what he was saying. I just love Sam Jackson. I just think that he did a great job regardless, but he couldn't save it. But you know what we do? That's what happens. What's the deal with Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts, again, the new Avengers, it really is just barely breaking even. They were expecting to be big numbers. They're still talking about the director doing the Mutants movie, the X-Men movie, but for me personally, I'm just like, I mean, I liked it, but also it just was, the end was anticlimactic to me. I thought we should have something different, and I like Bob. I do like Lewis Pullman. I think he was great in that casting. He's great. I like Lewis Pullman a lot. I'm excited for him to be in Spaceballs with his dad, too. I hope he plays Bob in everything he does, GR. I hope he's always Bob. That'd be great. But I think that's a fun new little Hollywood thing now. Just like, I would cast him as Bob. If I ever cast him in a movie, I'd be like, you gotta be Bob. That's where they call themselves Thunderbolts. Well, you know, that's the thing. They are the Avengers now, the new Avengers. So they were the Thunderbolts, but they should have just kept it as Thunderbolts. They tried to push that down because, again, at the end of the movie, they take over the Avengers Tower, but that's not going to last long. In the next movie, that'll be shuttered right away. I think at the end of the next movie, we're going to have a new Avengers team finally finalized, and I don't think they're going to be like the Avengers for long. I like David Harbour. I like that ragtag group, but calling them the Avengers, I think, was a little misspoken, you know? I think we should, it was like jumping the gun a little bit. I think it was, GR, just jumping the gun.
Is that a joke? Jumping the gun?
That's for you. That's for you, GR. Red Guardian was very likable, Racer X. Yes, he was. I enjoyed Red Guardian. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed his performance. David Harbour, again, everything he does. And honestly, I think that did better than Captain America did, because Captain America, they had massive reshoots. I think they still lied about how much money they spent on Captain America. GR.
Captain who?
Yeah, I think they, as you call him, Captain Falcon. But I think the problem with that too.
Captain America.
Well, even the problem with that is he didn't like if you're for a Captain America movie. I feel like that was the least amount of screen time a Captain American character has had in a Captain America movie. I think, you know, because he was barely the one in charge. Like, it was like more of a Harrison Ford movie. And I like the Red Hulk, but they were supposed to hide that, but then they didn't think people were going to watch it, so they put that into the advertising because they want to get people in the theaters. So, you know, it's what it is. I really wish it would have done better. I was hoping it'd be good, but they released it in February. That tells you right there. If you release something in February, they're worried about it. When it happened with Ant-Man, I was like, oh, no. No, Ant-Man's coming in February. They do not feel good about this movie, you know?
Well said, Mark.
had wings and could fly. Yeah, and that's not Captain America. I know he still was trying to be Falcon. And also the problem too, and I think that really causes issues with him being Captain America, I think from a legit standpoint, is like his like hesitancy. And I think that was the thing that we should have stopped after Falcon and Winter Soldier. He should have been like, I'm Captain America and that's it, and just taken up the whole Captain America mantle. But he was still like wishy-washy about not being Captain America, which also doesn't make you believe he's Captain America. You know, GR? So, I like him. I like him.
No,
he's a good actor.
The eagle that stole the shield. That's all he is, Brian.
He's a great I like him. I like him. You know, Anthony Mackie, I like him. But I think that...
he's a talented actor, but he's not Captain America. He's
Yeah,
the eagle who stole the shield. That's all he is.
I like what Queen said. You would know Mark because Mark is the eagle. I like that. That's great. Mark the eagle. Yeah, but he had the wings and he flew into the distance. And I just hope that Fantastic Four. I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
3 of them will be good.
You're gonna go there. I think Thing's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna do a great job. Everything I see what he's done for the guy from the Bear, and I do like Joseph Quinn. He might be a great fan of Human Torch, and Kirby's also good as well. So I like.
She's good. Flame is good. Thing is good. It's just if they would cast the right person for her.
He might surprise you, GR. He might surprise you. I do love how he came online and said that he did feel all the hate with the mustache and he should have shaved. But then he didn't say anything. He's like, I know you guys hated him shave, but he just left it. I'm like, you're not going to address it? You're not going to shave? I think that's because he's like, I don't shave for any of my parts. You get the mustache, that's me. Yeah, inconsequential villain. That's the problem too. And that's always an issue, having an inconsequential villain that you don't care about. You got to have someone that has high stakes. And it can't be a CG mess. And that's been happening too often with Marvel, the CG mess. I hope that DC doesn't have a CG mess in Superman. I hope not. I hope not. But we're going to find out before we know it. We're going to go. I think we're going to keep GR up past his bedtime on Thursday. I'm going to try to keep him up past his bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. He usually goes to bed at what time, GR?
9:30, 10 o'clock.
We're probably going to go to like a 7:45 show. So... GRB, yeah, he's gonna need some caffeine or something. I don't know. We'll have to give him something to stay awake. He hasn't had a Coca-Cola for how long, GR?
Coca-Cola, 16 years.
There you go. It might be time to break that cherry, GR.
No, you can keep it. I'll stay with my Diet 7-Up. Thank you very much. It's funny because Queen's saying he surrendered. Yeah, he surrendered. It just felt like the not high enough stakes. You know, it felt like a movie to assemble people, and that was it. And you got to have high stakes, and we got to have a villain that matters. And you know, we've had it before in these other Avengers movies where it actually mattered. Ultron, he mattered. The first Iron Man, Loki, or the first, I should say, Avengers, Loki mattered. Even the Captain America movies, like. I like the first one, the very first one where you had Jeff Bridges be the villain. He mattered. That was great. And then they had in Ironheart, they had Han Solo himself be Jeff Bridges' son from Iron Man. He was like, he's his son. And my dad was an evil person. I love how they tied that back. But I don't know. I hope Superman has higher stakes. I hope Fantastic Four has high stakes. We're just having a good time here as General. What kind of villain surrenders? Great point, Mark the Eagle. No, that's an easy one to answer, Brian.
What's that?
The French Army.
The French Army. Well, we had that here again. We've had the surrendering happening recently, so I don't know. We have Galactus. That's a big villain for Fantastic Four. I think it's going to be an evil Superman in Superman. That's the rumor.
And a great popcorn bucket.
The great popcorn. Get that $80 Galactus popcorn bucket.
85, Brian. Come on,
85. Right. You know, Sean's going to buy it. We'll talk to Sean about that tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to really dive into some more Marvel stuff. We'll probably dive into a little bit more about maybe the Fantastic Four, but more about Superman. Maybe we'll see what people are talking about tomorrow. We're going to address casting for the Flash tomorrow as well, because there's an actor that wants to come back to be the Flash. I'll tell you about that tomorrow, guys. Hold on to your horses for that.
I wonder who that could be.
And also, GR, who knows?
I'm not going to say.
There's Garfield's coming back. There's a lot of happening, guys. We'll be back to talk about that tomorrow. This is supposed to be a quick little one-off, guys. We're testing out Kickin with Kruse. Good to have you guys here. We hate that lazy writing as well. We'll have Sean tomorrow. The comic book king will be back. Sean will be back. So Sean Sullivan. And welcome back. It's been a long time. My buddy Paul Allen Dixon, guys. He's an actor out here. Loves the comic lore as well. He's been working for a long time. He used to have his own podcast. He's been branching out. He's been acting quite a bit. Be happy to have Paul back. Of course, the Thirsty Daddy will be here. I'll be here. We'll have our normal show on a hump day, guys. I can't wait for that, too. The Flash does need a recast. You're right, Mark the Eagle. Flash does need a recast, but doesn't need to be recast with an original person. We'll talk, with a person who's played it before. That's my question, because it could be somebody that you guys are interested to see. We'll talk about that tomorrow, guys. But thanks for being here on Kickin with Kruse, guys. We just want to do an hour. We're talking. We're having a good time. We're going to start doing these little mini shows here and there as well. As I'm running for SAG-AFTRA president, I just want to be more out here so people want to talk to me, they can, but also talk to you guys and keep building up and do more stuff on cruise control, guys. So thank you for being here, GR. Happy to have you here. As always, the Thirsty Daddy, GR Waters.
That was great, Brian. Short and sweet and to the point.
That's how GR likes it. I like it that way too sometimes, GR. Mark the Eagle, very nice to meet you. Hope to see you back here again. We'll be back tomorrow at a normal time, 6 o'clock, until about 7:30. Racer X, good to see you back again. Thank you for being here, popping in and saying hi. Queen, thank you for being here too. Appreciate you. And also out there, we had Billy F. If you left, welcome Billy F. And Collins, welcome back as well. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm Brian Kruse. This has been Kickin with Kruse. GR Waters, thank you for being here. The Thirsty Daddy himself, guys. We will be
My
back
pleasure,
tomorrow.
Brian. Good to be here.
It's going to be fun being back tomorrow. I'm going to say a lot of great topics tomorrow, guys. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, everybody, see ya.